For those of you who have already donated, thank you. For those of you who haven't, we look forward to it.
Tonight.
For those of you who have, we look forward to another one. So I'll stop talking and throw it to my dear friend Roy to introduce our special guest.
Yeah, hi, I'm Roy Harrison. I'm hosting with Seth as well. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you to Dinsmore for hosting. Colonel Pam, thank you for making a time out of your schedule to spend some time with us. This office is really, really important. As we know, our current Attorney General is now running for governor, and he's made his name ruining the purpose of that office, right? What he's trying to do is use the power of that office to attack the most vulnerable and men and women, trans individuals, so that their lives are harder instead of making their lives easier. We know what a good Attorney General can do, Andy Beshear, right? Andy Beshear used that office to make lives better for all of the folks on the margin. Colonel Pam, I believe, is going to be someone who's going to be able to do that for us this upcoming term. So Colonel Pam, thank you so much for coming. The floor is yours. Your turn. Y'all don't need me.
I don't want my hips by the charcuterie track. Oh, first of all, thank you for being here. I know he said my name is Pam Stevenson. I have been born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky, and they call me Colonel Pam because I served 27 years in the Air Force. This is important for Kentucky. I went to Shawnee and graduated from the Brown School, and then I went right into the military. Here's what I have learned from being in 11 countries and traveling all around the world serving people. We all want the same things. We want our children to do better than we do. We want our lives to matter. And we want to make a difference right where we are. And so the Air Force was a perfect opportunity for me. I prosecuted the hard cases. I solved hostage crises. I was in the Middle East with the United Nations. I did all manner of things. I've done this job in the Air Force. Now, when I was in the Middle East, and I was a liaison, then I went to Africa with the State Department, I got it done. Yes, they would rather be working with a man than a short black woman from Kentucky. But I told them that wasn't an option. What they had was me, and we need to get busy. And we got it done. Because there's nothing bigger than the promise of America. There are millions of military men and women that are fighting for that promise. And our job is to welcome them back home and make sure they're taken care of. I want to be Attorney General because I want to do for Kentucky what I did for America. I want every voice to be heard. I want every family to thrive. And I want to make sure that Kentucky rises. We have everything we need to lead the other 49 states. We have everything we need to make sure that children are not hungry. We have everything we need so that children that are sleeping with snow as a blanket don't do that anymore. Now here's the thing. Here's what it's going to take. Each and every one of us have to say, this can be done. That we can be the generation, we can be the people that we are who we say we are. We have a statute in New York that says, bring me your hungry, you're poor, you're tired, so they may breathe freedom. And we have to act consistent with that. Not the person standing next to you, the person in your underwear. We've got to do all we can do. I like to use the example of the elevator. Y'all don't like waiting for elevators. And when the door's about to close, you put your arm in, you're gonna break your arm to get that elevator ride. It is time to put your whole body in to save democracy. Stop that door from closing. The people that are gonna be born 100 years from now are dependent on what we do today. This great experiment called America works. When we listen to what the founding fathers and mothers said, that all people are created equal and they have certain inalienable rights. And when you stray away from that, you stray into trouble. So be thinking of questions because I'm saving plenty of time for questions. I believe this office, we can do so much. We can make sure that this drug problem that we're having, we can get at the source of it. We can put bad guys, prosecute the drug dealers, prosecute the people who are using little girls for sex toys, prosecute the people who would rather be a criminal than be a citizen, and put them where they belong, in prison. That's who we are. That office has so much it can do so that all families in Kentucky can thrive. And we just have to purpose our minds to do it. I'm gonna tell y'all one war story. You know, if you've been around the military, you know military people like war stories. Think of those questions. When I was in the Middle East, I was a black woman. They don't appreciate women of color or women, but I had to get my job done. And they were very sort of curt with me because they were uncomfortable working with women. And they said, when that phone rings, you pick it up and you go get what America needs. I'm like, okay. The phone rang and I didn't know where to go. So I figured go to the office that has a flag in front of it. And I walk up to the office. I didn't know what building, what room, but I figured I act like I know what I'm doing. And this guy runs up to me. He's a Kuwaiti military man. And he says, hey, do you know Flip Wilson? I know most of you young people don't know Flip Wilson. Hey, Gerald. And I said to him, before I could open my mouth, he took me down the hallway, threw open this door. There were 200 Kuwaiti men in uniforms, and he said, she knows Flip Wilson! And after that, I could do no wrong. Every time I walked into the room, they said, here comes the judge, here comes the judge. I'm like, cool, I don't need to convert you to Christianity to get what I need for America. Just give me what I need. And then about 2 months into this, my boss said, I want to make sure the Kuwaitis are treating you right. I'm going to go with you. I'm like, no, sir, you don't really need to. He says, no, it's my job. So I try to get in front of him, and I'll open up the door, and I'm like, they burst in there. Here comes the judge. And he said, I didn't know how you were getting your results, but now I see. And here's how I get results. I get results from listening, from collaborating, from making sure you win, I win. I get results in tents. I get results in countries where I don't speak the language. I get results in countries where they don't want me, because their basic human spirit is to be wanted, needed, and heard. I can do that for free. The Kentucky Attorney General's office is very important if Kentucky is to get out of the place where we are right now. I need each one of you, not just for me. It's not so I can get another gig. It's not so we can have this office filled. It's so we can save democracy. It's so we can be the leaders that this world is counting on. Somebody's got to do it. And what that means is you got to do more than you thought you could. Don't get the extra haircut. Don't get the extra dress, says the woman that just bought 2 dresses. Because that little bit can help. Everybody can do something. And then in the end, when you look at yourself, you can say, I did that thing. You can tell your grandkids, you can tell your great-grandkids, this is what mom and dad did when the things were crumbling. And I'll leave you with this and I'll take any questions. Sometimes, when it looks like things are falling apart, they're actually coming together. And it's just waiting for us to lean in and claim who we say we are and act consistently. I don't like the fact that this game is played with money. The person with the most money wins, they think. But that's where we are right now. I get in, we can change it. If enough of us get in, we can change it. Take all the dark money out, all the crazy money out, so that we can have the democracy that you all have worked your whole life for. We have a deadline coming up where I have to tell them how much money I made, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. If you can, what you can, give what you can, and then go give more. Then go give 6 of your friends, have them give more. We have cards, you can do it online, you can do it anywhere. But what's important is that you be able to look at yourself in the face and say, I did that thing. I did whatever I could to save this country, to save the state of Kentucky. And it doesn't hurt that I would be your Attorney General too. So, I want to say that that's what I want. I want to say one more thing and then I'll take questions. I say that you guys are the leaders that this state is counting on. And I really mean it. And I want to tell you this example, and some of you have heard it before because it's that important. I want to tell you about a leader in 1900, Lucy May Fridge. Lucy May dropped out of the 6th grade, got married at 14, had 15 kids. And she decided that she wanted her grandchild to go to college, so she found a way to earn 10 cents a month to get an insurance policy. And then Lucy died unexpectedly after 15 kids. And then when I turned 18, the insurance company gave me the policy. You see, Lucy was my grandmother. She dreamed a whole world for me that I couldn't even see for myself. She stood firmly in the world of the Great Depression, where blacks were not wanted, where discrimination was rampant, where she couldn't walk down the streets. And she had one foot in the world where my granddaughter can be something if I stand for her. Whose Lucy are you? Who are you standing for? Stand for me. I'm going to ask each one of you to sign this promise. We are going to campaign like we're going to lead. Every voice heard, every person listened to. And I want you to sign it as, if you haven't, and I want to present it to you two as a token of my appreciation for this gathering and for standing for people. You're more than welcome. Not that y'all fight over it. All the speak together, and I'm going to do a picture of you all together.
While they're doing that, I would be remiss if I didn't say the deadline is tonight.
I did say that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.